An introduction to Adobe Photoshop. You will determine very soon that architects have different uses for Photoshop than, say, artists. My reason for introducing Photoshop is to show you how much easier it is to add color to your drawings when you do not limit yourself to AutoCAD. I will begin by opening the previously created elevation.ai file. Going to the File pull-down menu, select Open, selecting the file. I am asked to convert it from a vector format to a raster format. I am going to use a resolution of 150 pixels per inch. This would be the bare minimum that you should be using if you are going to output to a printer. Of course, you can go to a higher resolution. If you do so, you are going to increase your file size. Going to select OK. I now have the elevation, and I will now begin to add color and layers. I'm going to zoom in. A little too far, zooming out. First, I'd like to increase the canvas size. Change the width to 10 inches. Change the height to 7. Leaving the anchor point at the center, selecting OK. Proceed with the canvas size changes. Next thing I'd like to do is add a new layer. I'm going to call this layer Back. I'd like to add a color to it. Selecting Edit, Fill, and I'd like to fill the entire layer using the background color. If I use the foreground color, I'm going to be using black. Using the background color, we'll select white. I now have a white background, and I need to move this layer below layer 1, which contains my elevation. I'm now going to create two more layers. The first one, I'm titling it Door. I would like to put the door colors on this layer. The next one, I would like to call Window. I will now zoom in to the door, using the spacebar to pan my view. I will make layer 1 active, and I will now go to my magic wand tool. I will select the door by clicking within it. I am now going to hold the Shift key down, and I'd like to select the side lights. My next step is to add color. I will change my current layer from layer 1 to layer Door. I'm going to select a red color, red based color. And now I will select Edit, Fill, so that the selected areas are filled with this color. Changing it from background to foreground. I will now go to my Select pull-down menu and deselect the area. As you can see, I have placed the color of the door on a separate layer. In case I would like to make some changes in the future, I have not placed everything on layer 1. I will now pan my view to one of the windows, make layer 1 active again. Using my magic wand, I will select the glass, holding down the Shift key to add to my selection. I will now change my current layer to the window layer. I'm going to change the foreground color to a blue color. And now I will select the gradient tool. Viewing my different gradient options, I'm going to select linear. and I will simply click and drag so that my color changes from a blue to a white. If I do not like that setting, I can click and drag again until I have my preferred choice. Once again, going to the Select pull-down menu, I will now deselect. As you can see, if I turn the door layer off and the window layer off, I am left with my black and white image. I'm going to zoom out. Finally, I'd like to save as a Photoshop file. It will have a .psd extension. This will allow me to save my layers, and I will be able to go back and edit this drawing, or rather this image. OK with the options. And we have now gone from an elevation.eps file to an elevation.ai file to an elevation.psd file.